We got a call from the customer that said one of their kitchen sockets just blew up while they were standing next to it. So of course we had to investigate. So apparently it had tripped, they reset it, and then literally 10 minutes later it just blew up while they were in the kitchen. So we got our kit out and had a bit more of a discussion with them to find out a little bit more. Thankfully they'd managed to see where the sparks came out of, so it gave us a really good indication of where we were looking. So we opened it up, and lo and behold, there was a cable touching the back box. You could see the slight singe marks, and also when you looked at the cable, there was the exposed copper, all the telltale signs. This is obviously what the customer had seen. But what was odd is they were nowhere near it when it happened to blow. This was a fairly obvious fault find in that respect, but we wanted to dig a little deeper as always. Some call it time wasting, but we tend to call it being thorough. This particular part of the circuit was a radial, and it had a USB socket on it, so as usual we took that off so we could do some IR testing. The customer had mentioned a few other odd things had happened, so we just wanted to clarify that the circuit was clear and there was no issues, and thankfully when we removed that cable from the back box it did clear the fault anyway. One thing they did mention though is they had real trouble plugging anything in, because apparently the kitchen fitters had cocked up and put the plinth right underneath the socket height. The socket was ever so slightly loose, and the kitchen had been in high use over Christmas with the repeated attempts to try and plug things into it. I think the movement had gradually abraded the live up against the back box, and that ended up causing the problem. Just not 100% sure why it decided to blow on its own at the last point. Had a little brainwave and went and got a spacer plate from the van in an attempt to bring the socket forward, also one to give the cable some space, but also to bring it forward to the front of the marble plinth. This brought the socket face level and made it easy to plug things in again, so no further problems there. They were quite happy with that because it was under a kitchen cabinet anyway, and to be honest you could only see it from the side where I've taken this photo, so they were more than happy, and it also solved the problem. They now want another one done in the same fashion as well to solve another problem. So that was the fault found, and as usual we did a bit of a thorough check to make sure everything was okay.